Hello and welcome to Nolo Time, episode 73. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good, Nolo time? Great to be with you again here for another special episode. Obed, it felt like we took last week off for some reason, even though we obviously had an episode. It just shows you how much I enjoyed doing this. I was really looking forward to this, so I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, man, especially with all some news that broke down, some
Yeah,
follow up, some stories that we talked about last week, and the Game Awards going on right now as we
right
speak.
now.
So guys, if we actually got a world premiere right now on Nintendo Switch, so we'll see what it is. So if you there's a Marvel game on Switch, Joel, coming out.
Yep,
Guardians of the Galaxy, most
that's right.
likely. Yep,
That's
that's what
right.
it is. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy on
Yep.
Switch. There you go. So, there's your first big announcement from
Big
the Game
announcement.
Awards covered on No Load Time.
That's right.
Um, so we're gonna be sort of doing this thing. So it's gonna be a very different episode today. So we do have some topics for you guys, and we're going to go back. And this looks like it's an Avengers game, Joe, or one of those Marvel Ultimate Alliance type of games.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I look forward
Uh,
to playing that.
yeah. So we're gonna go back and forth between our topics, and then whenever there's an announcement at the Game Awards, we are gonna, usually do about an hour long episode. We're not gonna go too crazy over anything that's going on at the Game Awards. But if there's breaking news and if there's any new announcement like the one we just spoke of right now, we will definitely um talk about it. So, but Joe,
Absolutely.
I don't know if there's anything new. If you did anything over the weekend that's interesting. I don't have anything. I've been really, really busy with work and family stuff. Unfortunately, a bunch of stuff going on. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's been a weekend, but I really don't have anything.
Yeah, similar to you, I spent my weekend catching up on life. Things that you just have to do, and I did, of course, try and find some more time to play my Nintendo Switch, and I just am in love with this thing, man. It's phenomenal. I think the weirdest thing is when you're doing multiplayer. I got to test that out better, and especially specifically on Mario Kart, it's a little weird when you're trying to use these Joy Cons and they're super small and you're
Oh,
splitting it one half. But
yeah.
even with it being like weird and whatnot, I still just love the versatility of the console. Like I love what they're trying to do with it. I love the innovation behind it. It's not similar to anything else. But I do think the Pro Controller is something that's probably coming in my near future here, just because it might be a little more comfortable. With that being said, when you actually have it, you're playing with it in the handheld version, not on the dock. It's perfectly fine. It's comfortable. Triggers are fine. Move just fine. But yeah, I'm really enjoying getting into my Switch. I look forward to playing some more Crash Bandicoot this weekend because
Cool.
I love myself some Crash.
Yeah, man. So, do some research on the 8-bit Do SN Pro,
Okay.
more specifically the SN Pro 2. I heard it's really, really good for the Switch, and it's Bluetooth, so it works on Switch, mobile devices, and PCs.
Yeah, that would help.
Um,
More comfortable. Yeah.
yeah. So in that, it's basically a Super Nintendo controller with four shoulder buttons instead of the two, and analog sticks. So
Yeah.
it looks really nice, really comfortable, and I think it's like 45 dollars if I'm not wrong. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not versus the 70 or the 60 that you would pay for the Pro controller, because the Pro controller is kind of expensive
Oh yeah.
if you ask me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a great option. So if you're looking to do that, I heard really good things about 8-bit Do controllers. I'm actually looking to get at least one of the wireless controllers for the SNES Classic.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're only $25 for those, since they don't have any rumble or analog sticks or anything. They're pretty straightforward. So I'm looking to maybe get one of those and see how that works out. I heard great things about them, but that's something that you may be interested in, man.
For sure. For sure. No, it's got to savor you can, but still need that comfort.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Also, I think there's one new wireless controller from not Hori, because Hori is doing their controllers wired right now. Um, but it's the other company that makes some PS4 peripherals as well. A Pro or Pro A, something like Power A.
Okay.
So Power A has a wireless controller. I think it's like $40. They sell it at Target, but it does not have Rumble.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, you probably get good battery life out of that, but and it's comfortable. From what I heard, it's really comfortable controller. But it might be an option for you too. So
Oh, for sure.
yeah, cool. Man, if you want to start off with with a big trailer, because
Ooh.
we were expecting a few trailers this week, but
Yes.
unfortunately we had a presidential passing
Sure.
and stuff getting delayed and Game Awards going on. Maybe something's
Yeah.
going to happen tonight. We don't know. But Joel, we've got the second trailer for Captain Marvel, which I would call the actual first trailer because the first trailer was more of a teaser.
Exactly. It was.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is a more of an in-depth look because we did see a lot of Captain Marvel wearing her usual, red, gold, and blue costume. With we saw a lot more powers being shown. The first trailer that I've seen from Marvel, Joel, especially in the last, I want to say 2 years, where the CG actually looks great.
Yeah, you can tell that they've spent a lot of time between their last trailer and now that doing their post production work. It's the movie comes out in March. They've got to continue to push it. I think that was something that when you look at with Black Panther, it's one of the biggest problems with that movie is that they just ran out of time. They didn't have enough time to polish some of the stuff at the end of the movie, and you could see it.
Yeah.
So, I think Marvel, I'm sure that they've grown so much as a studio. They're trying to make sure they continue to polish this stuff up. But with that being said, Obed, what a trailer, man! I mean, they're telling you still like hints. Okay, this person is a warrior, or as she says, a warrior
A
hero.
hero.
Right? I love that. But they're also telling you she's very human still. So you're like, okay, I want to know more about this side. They're giving you just enough of these little droplets for those who are new to this, that are excited for this movie but want to know what they're really getting into. They're giving you just enough for you to wet your whistle and get you out there pondering and wanting to be intrigued. And that's what people have to understand. Marvel is not the kind of studio, and I'm not trying to throw shade in other studios, but they're not the kind of studio out there that's trying to do a blow 'em up fight and rumble movie and just make bucks off of it. They're trying to tell you a story, and that's what people love about these movies so much. They connect with these characters who are completely fictional, but they have these elements of them, a strong backbone story. So when you do see this character show up in Avengers and you see this character progressing in maybe other movies potentially down the line, you care just because they're giving you such a strong backstory. She'll have her blow up scenes. In fact, that's my favorite, part of the trailer. I think most people has their favorite scene, when she just goes supernova at the end and is literally just blowing everything out of existence around her, including a ship. She blew up a ship, guys.
Yeah.
She didn't just knock people out. She blew up a ship. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I like what you just said. Is like Marvel's not only trying to tell you a story, but they're trying to tell you a story that connects to the last 10 years worth of movies, which is really hard. And what they're doing is incredible. It's what they're able to pull off with building this cohesive universe and all these movies around it. I think it looked great. The only thing that I don't not that I don't like it, right? But I think the makeup on the scrolls is kind of not super elaborate.
Sure.
But that's the only thing, right? I don't see
Yeah.
other than that, I didn't see any other issues or anything else that would take me away from that movie. Going back to the scrolls again, Joe, what do you think of Captain Marvel going Super Saiyan?
Oh my gosh.
Because he was everywhere. It's a meme now. She
I
went
know.
Super Saiyan in the trailer.
She did, and I think it's cool. Like, it's creative. You like she Like they're trying to still like I think it's a little bit also international influence to be straight up
I
with you,
think it's a
Obed.
yeah. I think it's
I
a little. I think it's a little bit of a nod too.
I do,
Yeah,
but I think like Marvel is infamous for like contracting a lot of large. I mean, it's a big projects, right? So they got bringing people in from other places, and I think there's some of the art styles a little bit inspired some international, and they
absolutely.
accept that and they appreciate that, and they've done that even since Age of Ultron. You've seen it even grow even more of that international influence. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
felt that a little in here, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I saw a tweet that was perfect. That was like, hey, take the Infinity Stones and replace them with Dragon Balls,
Yeah.
and take the scrolls and replace them with Namex, and then take Captain Marvel, replace her with Goku. Boom, Dragon Ball movie. So, I mean, that was pretty good. Anywho,
That's awesome.
going back to Captain Marvel. I just get involved into Dragon Ball. But just going back into uh, the trailer itself, they did a great job. What I also like that they showed a different side of Nick Fury. They
Yes.
showed a softer side to Nick Fury. You know, he's just this usually this hard ass guy that is like you're a special agent dude, right? So they showed a softer side, a more he's always had this sarcasm and this it's a sense of humor to him, right? He's not like
Oh
he's
yeah.
always been super serious, but we see a softer side, and I like
Yes.
that. With the cat scene at the end was really nice. That was pretty funny.
But Obed, in response to Nick Fury, that specific scene you see in the trailer where he's driving a car and Captain Marvel's on top of a train or whatever. The first thing that pops through my mind is, dude, if you've watched Winter Soldier, if you watch these movies, whenever Nick Fury is driving in a car, that's gonna be an epic sequence. I'm telling you, he's
Yeah.
the super agent car. You know it's gonna be an old school agent car that he's gonna be driving. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. It's always happened like that in all the Avengers movies and
Always.
Winter Soldier. Every scene that Nick Fury drives. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Something that's gonna yeah, something's
Gonna
good's
get
gonna happen there.
yeah.
But yeah, overall, I'm very positive towards it. It's one of those things that I'm definitely gonna go see it in the movie theater,
Yeah.
just because I need to find out how this hooks together with Avengers 4 or whatever it's called. So I'll be there and I'll check it out. I've seen a lot of enthusiasm for it and positive reactions from even not like super casual like Marvel fans. So yeah, I think it's gonna do well. I think the movie's gonna be pretty good, and it looks good visually. It looks good. Like I said, the CG for the first time in a while, we see that CG looks really solid on a trailer. Because
Yes.
it's been okay, but
Yeah.
we've probably we know that the final product's gonna be it's gonna
Exactly.
be different.
Exactly.
But yeah, overall very positive. So yeah, just
Excited.
moving on real quick to other Marvel news, Joe, because we didn't have this on our docket, but the Golden Globe nominations were out this morning, and Black Panther got 3 nominations, if I'm not wrong, right?
That's right. Black Panther getting some recognition, guys. Obed, I said this to one of the persons that was with me when I actually walked out of the movie theater. I said, "What is it gonna take for Marvel to get recognized? Like, what more do they? It's really specific after watching Black Panther in theaters. So what are they gonna have to do to be recognized beyond visual effects or sound editing? Like, I'm not saying that's gonna win something big or that it deserves to be the best. I'm not one of those people. I understand the arguments for other films, but I just want recognition for someone to say, I see where you innovated. I see where you tried to do something different. What Marvel has done, other people are trying to now replicate what they're doing. You know that you're innovating the industry when other people are trying to repeat the same success you have, and no one has come close to it. It's a very specific formula, and I'm happy to see that there's some recognition there on a larger scale. Black Panther is a great movie.
It is. actually, watched it a couple weeks ago and yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, so we got nominated for best drama film, and what were the other two categories? Just slipped my mind.
Gosh, I want to pull this up just
Fact
to make
check.
sure. Fact checking it,
On the
guys,
fly.
live here on the show. Okay, best picture drama, best original song, All the Stars, and best original score.
Okay.
So but the best picture part drama, I think that's the one that really stands out to most people. I'm loving the soundtrack too, also getting on there because, man, like, you could still play All the Stars now, and it's a great song. I thought Black Panther had one of the best soundtracks of the year if you're into the music side. Kendrick Lamar did, but and then also the actual track played within the film, the actual composition was very very strong too, helped bring it to life.
Absolutely. This was a movie that really benefited from its soundtrack. Because there's some set pieces and all this that the movie that the music goes along really well with those scenes. So
Absolutely.
yeah, cool.
Good stuff.
Good stuff for Black Panther, and like you said, it's good to see that it's finally getting some recognition, and that we're not only nerds anymore, right?
Exactly.
We're mainstream. I was mainstream before it was mainstream. So, Joe, Netflix, we talked about it last week with the cancellation or non-renewal of Daredevil. So, some other news came out, some updates, and there's someone and I can't remember the name, Joel. You can maybe refresh my mind, but was saying that this was very unexpected, because they were I'm looking for the right wording on it.
It was doing well
Because it was doing well. It was getting good ratings. It was getting good ratings. It was reviewing well. It was very popular. Excuse me. So this person was saying that it was a shock to everyone to see that Netflix just straight up canceled it, and someone else was like, "Oh, I'm sure it's gonna come out at Disney," and this person was saying, "Well, no, I'm not 100% sure that that's gonna happen. I know Netflix has some sort of block on the characters for that they cannot appear on other platform for 1 to 2 years, but." Joe, what's your opinion on this? I mean, we just as a follow up from last week, we already shared our thoughts, and we think we share with you guys what we think it's gonna happen. But just as a follow up, Joel, what do you think it's going on over here?
We're definitely getting a lot more clarity as time goes on, and that's to be expected. So more things coming out, which is why we're bringing it to the forefront today. We have more evidence now behind it, like you were just pointing to. I just have it in front of me here saying that had close to 30 million demand expressions, and it was on the top 4 being streamed over last month, behind things like Narcos and Stranger Things and Sabrina. So those are all Netflix originals. You have Daredevil being right up there with them. You have to think anything in the top 5 of Netflix would be safe. According to Deadline, their speculation is that it's largely because of the launch of the Disney Plus streaming service that Disney decided to cut these things, and they're also saying that Jessica Jones and Punisher can't be far behind. Now, same thing you said, Obed, is that it seems like there is some stuff that Netflix has stipulations where you can cut off these characters, but for any other studio to pick it back up and put it on the screen, just the way year 2. This is kind of what I was alluding to bring some clarification here when I was saying in our last episode, where if these characters are going to be on the Disney streaming service, it would not be Daredevil season 4. I said very specifically it would be like Heroes for Hire. It'd be a redo of Defenders to some degree, and see what happens. I strongly believe that's the case. I can't see Disney seeing this and just going, okay, that's fine, we'll bench these characters for 5 years. I think that's ridiculous,
not.
especially Daredevil for the most part, because it took a while for them to get the rights back, and they didn't blink at a second that he was available. So I think there's definitely plans. I can see within 2 years, like we're saying, that Heroes for Hire kind of thing. But at the same time, with me saying that, don't be so connected to the actors. When things like this happen, when cancellations or are not picked up or renewed, rather, for another season, when these things happen, scheduling, guys are not on the books to do stuff anymore. That doesn't mean they're going to just come back because they love doing the character. Now they're not contractually obligated to do it. So each of these characters' contracts are kind of gone at this point, from what we understand.
Absolutely. The what's interesting again is that this is a very well liked series. I really don't see Disney just abandoning the property anytime soon because it's again popular, being well reviewed and well liked. Also, this actors, all of the actors that are involved in the Netflix project are obligated to at least one MCU film. Is that correct, Joel, or is that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're obligated, but they definitely had that as that Marvel had the right to say, if we call you, you have to answer. Okay. So yes, it was one film for each of them.
Okay, gotcha. Joel, just a bit of breaking news. New Far Cry game has been announced.
Far Cry Dawn.
Far Cry New Dawn. It looks like it's a post-apocalyptic Mad Max type of game. It's the real Fallout, Joe. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. Yeah, foreshadowing. Interesting. Let's see. Any date? No date. It's probably gonna be either late next year or next gen, most likely.
Yeah, probably
either or. When I say next gen, it's maybe cross gen, so maybe a 2020 game, or it could be an early 2020 game. February 15. Wow.
Huh.
That's soon, dude. That's a year after Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
So that's a whole year after it. Wow, that's crazy. That's soon.
It's soon, and the question becomes: is that a good thing? I don't know. I get hesitant when things get cranked out that quick. I don't know.
The thing is that this is probably the team that worked on Far Cry Primal.
Oh yeah.
It's not the main core Far Cry team, so I'm pretty sure that this is the Primal team, and we have another world premiere here. What's happening?
Coming up here?
Let's see. Okay. I like that art style. Our style is pretty good. So we'll see what's happening here. Supergiant. So a new game from the guys from Bastion and Transistor, and I can't remember the last game they made. That was that weird basketball role RPG hybrid game that was that I heard was pretty good. I really like the art style and the narrative and the music on this game, especially Transistor. Guys, if you haven't played Transistor, do yourselves a favor, pick up Transistor. It's on everything. It's on iPhone, PS4, I think even on Xbox. So yeah, pick it up. This game looks like sort of a Transistor-ish type of game. Joel here, it looks like a Bastion Transistor hybrid with Greek gods. So
yes, Power of Zeus, they clearly showing.
Yep, it looks pretty good. We'll check out what the title for this game is. So yeah, like we said, kind of a different show today. So we're doing a live video game, the Game Award, not the Video Game Awards, the Game Awards.
The Game Awards.
Yeah, the Video Game Awards is when Spike TV used to own it, right?
Yes.
That was awful. Except the time that Stan Lee gave Hideo Kojima a Lifetime Achievement Award. That was great.
Come on. Absolutely.
I was like, Stan Lee yelling, Hideo Kojima, and he was wearing like camo. Do you remember that?
Yes, he did.
That was great. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was probably the only memorable moment on
well, it's Stan Lee, come on.
Yeah. Game's called Hades.
Yep.
This new game. So it looks pretty good.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to Daredevil, Joe, still bummed. I mean, I'm up to episode 11 right now. And it's great. It's intense. I really, really like it. So
another thing to quickly note here too, that's come out now with time passing, is that the executives running the Disney Plus side, for for the Marvel stuff is the same ones running their movie universe, Kevin Feige and his team. It's not the same television team that do like Agents of Shields. That team was running the Netflix stuff, and they were running Carter and all the other different TV stuff they've done. So I think it's a little interesting. It makes sense because we're seeing obviously actors that were in the lot the big screen theatrical releases, that they're the ones coming in for Disney Plus. But that also makes me skeptical of maybe actors returning if they are to do something on the new streaming service with the same characters. So just hold out, but those details, make us sad still. But like you said, like we said, Obed. I mean, these characters will be back. They're not gone forever. It's just sad that this chapter had to end.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, the Marvel game that was just announced, just to go circle back to that, is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. So I was right on the money on that one. And it is confirmed to be a Switch exclusive, and it's being developed by Team Ninja.
So glad I have a Switch, man.
now you're happy you got that Switch, right?
Oh, well,
yeah, I like
Christmas came early for me, and thank you.
I know.
Yes.
I like the character design looks good. It looks like a mix between MCU and Ultimate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, man. I clocked so much time on those. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Which is and interestingly on this one, so it's confirming here over in Kotaku, it is out 2019. Again, Switch exclusive. And what's interesting, Joel, it's this game is being developed by Team Ninja. So it's actually being developed by a Japanese developer. So Tecmo Koei, technically, since Team Ninja is part of Tecmo. And it is being published by Nintendo themselves. So very, very interesting stuff. That's a very third party, strong move by Nintendo, man. Having a Marvel property exclusive to their system.
That's awesome.
Being developed by a great developer, because Team Ninja, of course, they did the Ninja Gaiden games. They did the Neo. They did all the like the Hyrule Warriors and all these games that have come out. The Dragon Quest Warrior Heroes for PS4 as well. So all these games that are very popular, they've worked on them. So interesting. We'll see what that goes. But it's a very cool announcement.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Little Billy.
Little Billy's gonna get his new Forza.
You just reminded me of Little Billy. Yeah. So more Forza Horizon DLC, I guess.
Yep.
Coming out. Yeah. All right. That's yeah. All right. I mean, I guess people like Forza. I mean, I can't complain. Forza seems like a pretty good game.
It might be the best game right now, but exclusive.
Oh yeah. Last year, I think it's the strongest Xbox exclusive for 2018 for sure. Joel, we've known that Valve with their Steam service have basically dominated PC gaming sales for the longest time. We've seen EA come out with Origin. We've seen Ubisoft with their own, take on it. We've seen other services like GOG, Good Old Games. So we've seen other competitors, but nothing to the scale of what Epic Games just announced. And Epic Games, of course, being the developers of Fortnite. It's funny because it's like, oh, Epic Games, the Fortnite people. I mean, that's how you know them now, but but what people don't realize is that Epic Games also owns Unreal Engine, and Unreal Engine is on, I want to say, 60% of the games right now.
Yeah,
Joel, out
Unreal
there.
Unreal Engine is unreal.
The Unreal Engine is unreal. It's on everything. So. And it's with good cost, right? Because we got to give them props, because it is an absolutely versatile engine, and they can definitely do a lot with that. So they announced that they are releasing their own service, which I believe was going to get a sneak peek at the Game Awards, but it's very interesting, Joel, because they're coming out with a very, very aggressive. I'd say a monetary program or monetization program for developers, and it is that the Epic Games will keep 12% of the revenue. 88% will go to the developer and publisher, which is very high. Steam, I believe, is 70% for the developer and publisher, and 30% for Steam. And if I'm not wrong, that is the same case with the App Store, the Apple Store, for your apps on your phone. And I'm not sure what sort of program PlayStation and Xbox have. I'm pretty sure they have a separate indie a program for indie developers, and then they other more traditional games and more I'd say mainstream publishers have their own system in place. But this is very aggressive, Joel, from the part of Epic Games. They really, really want to put people on their platform. And another big thing, Joel, is that Unreal Engine 4, especially right now, Unreal Engine 4 being the version of Unreal Engine that's up to date. Unreal Engine 4 is free. You can download your tools for free, so you can basically build your own and make your own game for free.
Absolutely.
They do sell plugins, they do sell add-ons, they do sell assets, they sell these different things, but the engine itself is free. And it for the use of the engine, Epic Games gets a 5% royalty. So say, for example, Street Fighter V is built on Unreal Engine 4. For every copy of Street Fighter V that gets sold, Epic Games 5% of their revenue. Basically, that's the royalty cut, right?
Yeah.
But if they publish their game on their platform, they don't have to pay for a royalty fee.
Very smart.
And that's a big deal, Joe. This is very, very aggressive. I see all games that are built on Unreal Engine to be on this platform, like straight
Absolutely.
up. Like this would make the absolute most financial sense for an indie developer that's building their game from scratch using Unreal Engine, and being strapped and not having a lot of money, and want to get their cut, put your game on this platform. Joe, this is big news. As far as I know, there is no date for the full launch. If I'm not wrong, any new installs, like if you download the Fortnite launcher, right? The Fortnite launcher is basically now it's a storefront, so it's not just a Fortnite launcher. And there's an option on the launcher itself, if you already have it installed, where you can just switch to the storefront mode, so via an update. But man, this is a big deal for PC gaming. There's it's gonna be big. So man, what are your thoughts on this thing and PC gaming overall going with this new option?
Well, first of all, I think this is a power move, and I think it's a brilliant power move. These guys understand the power of Unreal Engine, what they've created, and they see the usage. Like you said, it's ridiculously a large amount of the industry utilizing their technology. And with that being said, like, they're going to, of course, always make the profit from the royalties, but that's great and all the money, but how do they try and bring back the awareness to who they are as the creators? Well, make a storefront and then tell people, pay the price or allow us to put it on our store. Like you said, it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't even the big dogs out there? Like, I don't see why they wouldn't. The small people, independent developers, and the big ones
Absolutely.
out there. To me, it just makes sense, and to them it makes sense. But it benefits them because they're gonna grow their store and bring people back into their brand. Just beautiful strategy. And I see nothing wrong with it. I only think it's going to help people who are fans of specific franchises. Like we saw the Fortnite effect. The Fortnite effect is a thing I really believe in. It's real. To what extent, that's a whole other conversation. But, I definitely see where when one thing catches fire, that's like Fortnite, when that happens, the people will go back to the storefront and they'll discover other great properties, and that's what they want to do at the end of the day. It just better grows their brand and gives them more opportunities to do more stuff. So I love what they're doing there. They're helping the independent developers. They're helping out the community, but they're also helping themselves. And when everybody wins, that's a rarity in business. So I think this is a great thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And what you said, man, there's a lot going on with Unreal Engine right now because we've seen, like I mentioned, Street Fighter Five. Most fighting games right now are on Unreal Engine.
Yes.
Including Japanese developed games. Dragon Ball Fighters is on Unreal. Guilty Gear is on Unreal. So we're seeing that a lot of versatility, and then we have new games like Kingdom Hearts 3 that are coming out built on Unreal Engine. So this is, yeah, like you said, this is a power move. They're flaunting their Fortnite case of cash. Just like, yeah, we got this case of cash from Fortnite, guys, and we're gonna go do this thing. So they're just showing everyone the amount of Fortnite money that they have. Man, Red Dead's killing it over here.
I literally just sent you another message on that. I'm like, dude, this is the third now.
Yeah, 3 out of 3. So yeah, interesting. This is. I think this is good. I think PC gaming was long overdue for another platform
Yes.
that PC users and PC gamers
Of course, Steam
could
was always
go to.
big and whatnot,
Absolutely.
but it's great to see this too.
Yeah, I mean,
More
because
variety.
Steam was dominating for forever, and then other services, and then what's going to happen with games for Windows or Windows or the Windows Store or whatever they
Yeah.
call it, right?
Yeah.
Because when Microsoft's putting a lot of money behind their Windows Store and their storefront for Windows 10. And so what's going to happen to that? I mean, now you have a third option. I mean, is it as good as this other platforms? That's pretty crazy. So either Microsoft needs to either bring it or just slowly just not talk about it, kind of like they did with VR when they said that the Xbox One X was going to be compatible with VR, and they slowly stopped talking about it until, hey, what happened with VR? I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. So they probably should do something like that, because I don't think there's room for 3 dominating game platforms on PC. I can definitely see 2, right? I know that Origin for EA is big because I think all their games run on Origin.
Yes.
I'm not necessarily a PC gamer, but
Yes, but you're right. Yeah.
but yeah. So yeah, we will see what happens with So, Joe, just when we did a little bit of foreshadowing here earlier today, we talked about briefly talked about last week about what happened with Bethesda and the overall issues surrounding Fallout 76, the game coming out pretty buggy, the game not reviewing well. People not being happy. Then we got that video of that guy throwing a rage fit on GameStop. Did you watch that video?
I did.
That was pretty good.
It's hilarious.
That's pretty good. Hey, it's like, as long as no one's hurt, it's funny as long as no one's hurt, right? So,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty funny. It's like the only one hurt was that Snorlax plush that just felt face planted. Poor Snorlax. So that's pretty good. But and again, I said that Bethesda was they're riding the wave. It was like they're riding the wave of goodwill from their fans, and that only gets you so far. And then we talked about what happened with the collector's editions bag, where the
It was a garbage bag.
pretty much. So if just to recap real quick,
Yeah.
there is a $200 edition of the game, Power Armor Edition, I think it's called. And the game included or the game was supposed to include a canvas bag. And on the picture, you can see it's like, oh, it's like a nice looking canvas bag. So when fans got their boxes, they saw that there was it was not a canvas bag, it was a nylon bag, and they were still advertising it as a canvas bag on their site. So fans went to social media. They first said they're not going to do anything, then they said they're sorry, and they'll give them some in-game money. And but then what they didn't do was address the actual issue. Was like they falsely advertised a product. And finally on Tuesday they said, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and replace your nylon bag with a canvas bag for free, of course. They just need to open a ticket on the site before January 31st, and they should be good. The one thing that I think caught the most ire out of the fans was that YouTube influencers and Twitch influencers were getting actual canvas bags for their events, and I think that's what set off most people. And it wasn't even like, it was an actual like Herschel looking bag, like a rucksack sort of bag. It wasn't necessarily like a little bag. So they actually got good gear for free. So fans, of course, having paid $200 for this version of the game, were not happy. So that's been resolved. Unfortunately, Joel, Bethesda is this year's meme that keeps on memeing.
I know.
Like Battlefront 2 last year.
There was one on the internet I saw yesterday that was just cracking me up. I almost sent it to you. It said, Fallout 3, where's my son? Fallout 4, where's my dad? Fallout 76, where's my refund?
Yeah. And I heard that there's been a lot of people on Steam asking for refunds, and at one point they were not doing refunds anymore. It got pretty crazy.
Did you see the thing about people putting in like requests on Bethesda's site, support requests, and then like their requests being public, that other people could actually see their requests? That's exactly
what I was going to. So when you open the ticket on the Bethesda site to get your bag, something went wrong and data leaked, and there's a bunch of people's information was out there on the internet. Joel, what I mean, we've been very critical of EA, right? We poke fun at EA,
right?
And we did over the Battlefront fiasco, and they fixed the game, right?
And we liked the game too.
And dude, it's like no questions asked. They went ahead, they fixed the game, and that's it. And like, all right,
that's true.
And then we stopped talking about it because that's what you were supposed to do. They actually fixed it so well, Joe, that that's the only thing that I actually played over the weekend.
See?
Because I checked out that Geonosis DLC came out.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. It's a good freaking game. I mean, and it's, dude, the game's out there for like $9, $7 sometimes on PSN. It was Black Friday. It was like $7 at Best Buy or $8. Dude, that's a freaking gift. It's a great game. Yeah. Seriously, it is a no-brainer. It is a great game. I've got my money's worth out of it, more than I thought that I was gonna get, for real.
Nice.
So, man, where does this stop for Bethesda? I mean, where should they just? To be honest with you, Joe, this should be, they should hit a hard reset on this game. This should be like when Square when Square Enix said basically destroyed the world of Final Fantasy 14 and then re-released it as a Realm Reborn a year after. I think that this is what should happen to Fallout 76. They should just destroy that world again with like a second nuclear fallout or whatever.
Absolutely.
So seriously, and then restart the game from scratch, because At this point, I don't think there's anything they can do other than completely revamping the game to get people back on board. I think it's just too much. I think it's just too much. Too much, ire from the fans, and just being poked fun at. I mean, Bethesda's it's a well-renowned developer, and now they're the laughing stock of the internet and in the gaming community. So, um, yeah. What do you think, Joe? What should they do?
Yeah, I think they have to fix. They have to fix their marketing of their game too. I think that's all. Like you said, it's the miscommunication. Like,
Yeah,
you're
marketing's been terrible too. Yeah,
yeah, I
you're
think
right.
that's it's a big one there. Like when people have set expectations, that's a hard thing to change. So you have to make sure that you keep expectations in check. I'm always concerned about, how people are perceiving, products. And I mean, as an example right here, where if you're having this many people demanding for refunds or saying like I'm mad about what I got, that means that you didn't market it right. So that's the first thing I'm looking at. The other thing is like make a good game. Don't
Make a
don't
good
just
game.
don't just put a game out there to make money, and then you have these garbage bags that you're selling too with it, where it makes it look like you're just desperate to get money. So
Yeah.
that's another issue I think there. And then lastly, you know, like look like you care about your customers. Like when you have this issue about people's data being out there publicly like that, it makes it look like you just like customer service is like we don't
Yeah.
care that much about it. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
So that's some of the main stuff I take away right away. I think it's all very fixable though. I don't think that it's like Fallout is doomed. It's just a matter of you gotta pay attention here and not try and say it's fine. No, it's not fine. Let's fix this stuff. I
Yeah.
think they can do that.
I think Fallout is a franchise that should take a break. Should take a long break,
Exactly.
like a 3-4 year break right now. I mean, they should fix this mess that they've done. I mean, they should definitely fix the game, but they should just put Fallout to sleep for a little bit, or concentrate on whatever they're doing next, and you know, when the time is right, they'll know. The thing with Fallout 76 too, Joel, is that I heard that the game was not supposed to be ready right now at release. They probably needed another 6 months or so to get the game to where they wanted. But they wanted to release for the holidays. And don't
Wow.
I mean when will they ever learn, right? If things are not ready, don't release it.
And fans need to chill out too and let them do that.
Exactly. Yeah, because fans usually go crazy. I was like, oh, this has been delayed, and,
Delayed.
and oh, man, babies, and all this stuff. They start crying. No, this is not Microsoft Word that you just start typing stuff and stuff happens
Nope.
in the game world, right? We're talking about complex math and geometry and all this stuff and,
Absolutely.
and code and artificial intelligence and all these things that are happening in the game. Guys, seriously, just leave them. If it's delayed, delay it. But publishers are, man, they're not gonna learn. Um, Interestingly enough, Joe, we're just watching a new trailer that came out for Anthem, and that's a game that I think that game was supposed to come out now November,
Yes.
and the game was delayed until February. So um, that was the right move from EA. So EA definitely needed to push this game. And also the stream went down for the Game Awards. That's very unfortunate. um, so they definitely needed to do that with Anthem. And it's the right thing when Sony delayed Days Gone, 2 months. Yeah, that's great. Days Gone was coming out the same day as Anthem and Crackdown 3 and all these other games. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, they like Sony doesn't like they don't play around when releasing games, right? They want to release the best game they can, and they don't care, as long as it's great. If it's delayed, 6 8 months, whatever, they just need to do whatever they need to do. Again, Days Gone was supposed to come out now in November, and got delayed to February, and then that got moved to April, which I think that delay from February to April was deliberate. I don't think that necessarily was it's like, hey, the game's bad, we need to delay it. I think it was deliberate. They're playing around with their calendar. Who knows what else is coming out next year from Sony? So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But definitely Bethesda, man, it's rough. Because they fans are like, I remember when Fallout 4 came out, and John Baum gave it a 2. And Jeff Gerstmann said the game was not good. That the game was not good, and it was buggy, and it was just a mess. And then Rooster Teeth came out. Oh, we're all of them wearing Pip Boys and Fallout gear, saying, "Oh no, the game is great. Don't listen to those guys." And it's like, I mean, if the game's buggy, it's buggy. It's bad.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So. Hey Joel, you got some breaking news?
Yep, Crash Team Racing. It's being brought back, and that was one of my PS1 favorites. One of my PS1 favorite memories there. Right, I could talk about great times I have with that game. They're bringing that back. They just announced that at the Game Awards. So it was pretty cool too, because they had, I can't remember the dude's name, but he was actually dressed as Crash. Opens up a box, pulls out the trophy, and then they played the reveal trailer for it. So. Nice. Crash Team Racing, bro. That's another good one.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it. Their official stream went down. I guess IGN's is up.
Yeah, if you watch through Twitter, Twitter right now has it.
Oh, you're watching through Twitter? Okay. Yeah, so I'm on their YouTube stream. It looks like their official one went down, but IGN's is working.
Content Creator of the Year is about to be announced.
Oh, great.
Yep. I'll keep you guys posted.
Probably not now, low time. Got some.
Not yet.
Some suck-ass content over here.
Hey,
hey,
that's not remotely true. Our quality's better than a lot of people out there. Not trying to throw shade at anyone directly, but just saying.
Especially sound quality.
Oh my gosh,
and
our intro is phenomenal.
Yeah,
that music's great. If I can say
at least for the podcast, right? If you're watching on YouTube, you won't get any music because we're about to get flagged.
Yes.
Yeah, we ain't getting flagged on YouTube. So.
Not us.
No, seriously. But yeah, if you want to listen to some music, just check out the audio version on SoundCloud.
Absolutely.
Just plug that in real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joel, that's what I got. Yeah, just ending with Bethesda needs to do more on, in regards to keeping their fans happy. Joel, real quick, the only last piece of not necessarily news that I have, but the one thing that I wanted to talk about is the PlayStation Classic debacle. Like, what the heck happened, Joel? This was you were supposed to bring balance to the Force. It was like, what happened, man?
Yeah, PS Classic is sad.
Yeah, Ninja won.
He did.
I guess influencer of the year or whatever.
The content creator, yep.
Yeah, which was like given, like so. Yeah, Joel, bad emulation. I guess not great hardware. The ROMs some ROMs running at 50 hertz, and then the console trying to convert it to 60 hertz, and then there was missing frames and games didn't play well. Man, what a mess. This was supposed to be a hit, and that game selection didn't help either because the game selection was not super great. To begin with, there's only probably 10 games out of that list that are of my personal interest. So, man,
just all in all, from the announcement of it, you and I were like, it sounded cool, but didn't sound for us. And then as more and more information came out about it, just more and more made me feel like I don't even know if I would recommend this to anybody. Like I didn't feel that way. And then now hearing, just operationally, it's not doing great. Like you're having these, like you're saying, you have different bugs and glitches coming out. Like, well, was it $100, Obed, the price for this
It's
thing?
$100. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good situation to be in.
Yeah. There's guys out there trying to hack it and see what they can figure out with it. The one interesting thing that I saw, Joe, is that because this runs on a ARM version of the PCSX emulator,
Yes.
the you can actually access the emulation menu and set everything to NTSC, and that basically just just basically fixes most of the issues regarding frame rate and other things that the console was having. It's unfortunate. I mean, again, yeah. When we saw this, I mean, we said that this is probably not for me. I think you can play PS1 games on PS3 and Vita. I've used my Vita extensively to play PS1 games, and it's emulation is perfect on those. So, it's a shame that they put out an inferior product to stuff that's already out, that's years old already.
Yeah. Oh,
so, Joe, when are they gonna bring back PSP games?
Dude, I mean, maybe that's something with PS5. They'll try and figure out like, okay, how far back can we go? I'm all for it though. There's some good stuff on PSP that I don't think enough people have gotten their hands on.
Yeah, because PSP games on Vita run fantastic.
Yeah,
they're great, and they run well. They look really nice. But
Vita
that's
no longer being a thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, with Vita no longer being in production and all that, where where's this going? Where there has to be a way for those games to be preserved. And
absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, because if you think about it, there's like you said, there's a lot of great games in there.
Absolutely, great library.
Yeah. But Joel, that's what I got. I don't know if you have anything else. There's an announcement from Obsidian going on right now. Of course, they just got bought by Microsoft not too long ago. A game called, I guess, Spacer's Choice, and it's a space-based RPG, but it's also coming out for PS4.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. Yep.
A little bit. That's all I got, but I do know, we mentioned in the beginning of the show, there's a strong possibility, by the time you hear this, maybe it has happened. We'll see. But, there's a strong possibility an Avengers trailer will have come out between when this episode was recorded and our next episode, and also a Spider-Man trailer. So I really look forward to our next episode. We'll probably do some more Game Awards stuff that's happened after we've stopped the recording tonight. Probably cover. So I really look forward and want to encourage you guys to stay connected so you can hear all of our latest episodes as they drop. Go ahead and give us a subscription. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud. Also, go ahead and give us a follow on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also want to make sure you can stay in contact with us. Send us any feedback, comments, support, whatever you want to do. Send us an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. We appreciate you all out there watching, listening to us. Make sure to stay tuned for our next great episode.
Thank you, guys, and we'll see you again next week.